Welcome back, everyone. It is Monday, and of course, that means it's Mailbag Monday. Before we get started, don't know what you guys thought of the Cup Series championship finale yesterday. Overall, the race wasn't too bad. It had a little excitement, a little drama. Um, you only had the two cautions for stage breaks, and of course, Bell losing the brake rotor, hitting the wall, and Kyle Busch spinning. So not a lot of opportunities for those crazy restarts. Xfinity race was pretty clean this weekend, I thought. Of course, the truck race, everybody's been talking about what a clown show that was. Of course, is what it is. You always hear people talk about the trucks being the most aggressive division of the top three. So we'll have to see what happens moving forward next year, if it continues or if it calms down a little, as a couple of those drivers are moving up. So anyway, back to our mailbag here. Of course, on Mondays, we are doing 20 random NASCAR Hero cards out of the box that I picked up back in August on a Facebook trade. So anyway, we're going to start with, this is a 2023 one. That'd be Mr. Brandon Jones, driving for Junior Motorsports. Of course, you got the Menard sponsorship and different partners, vendor sponsors, etc., that big companies tend to have. You see that a lot with Menards, Lowe's when they were in the sport, Home Depot when they were in the sport, Kroger currently does it, and a couple of the other big store chains like that will do that, where they'll put some of their, allow some of their vendors, like I said, their vendors or their partners to come in and defray some of the costs of sponsoring. So here, this one looks like another one from 2023 Xfinity Series. Jeffrey Earnhardt for Everlawn with Alpha Prime Racing, Tommy Joe Martin's team. Then up next, we're going to go to 2003 in the Cup Series with Rusty Wallace, that famous Blue Deuce. Then up next, let's see here. What year is this one? I'm going to say it's about 2013, it looks like. Brian Vickers, driving for Michael Waltrip Racing. I always thought that particular Aaron's paint scheme looked nice. Those numbers really, in my opinion, look vintage, but the car itself was a very clean-looking race car. Then up next, 1999 to the Truck Series and Randy Tolsma. This one's really unique. You got the big spread here. So you got the schedule, some information, so it folds out to be huge. A little bit more information on the back. Randy ran a few seasons in the trucks in the early years of that series. Then up next, I'm thinking this is 97. Let's see here. I don't see... Yeah, 1997. That'd be Butch Mock Motorsports, Rick Mast. Now look at this. This one still has the coupons attached for some Remingtons and some other products. There you see it. There you see Butch Mock Motorsports. Then in 2007 in the Cup Series, we have Kyle Petty, Tire Kingdom. I always think it's interesting to see all these tire companies that have got involved. Obviously now with Penske, back then it was with Roush Discount Tire. You see Tire Pros on Junior Motorsports cars and a few others. Then you have Tire Kingdom. I'm sure there's been a few others over the years. 1997, Hut Strickland was still driving for Stavola Brothers, Circuit City. So there's some information about Hut. Career highlights. From what I've heard, Hut has moved back to Alabama. He'd lived in North Carolina for years, but now is back in Alabama. This next one is 1999 Busch Series. Mike Skinner, that'd be David Ridling Motorsports. And again, this one has the merch coupon here still attached, or the order form. And there you see a little bit of information. Crew chief, team owner, the schedule that they were going to run. I'm going to look at this off camera because I wanted to see the prices. $20 for t-shirt. 1/24 scale race car, $34.95. So still pretty salty, I guess. But that color of the paint scheme, and you see the truck there, and everybody says, why is the yellow car painted orange? Interesting story. The founders of that company, when they wanted their semis to be noticed on the road, the easiest color to spot from a distance is this color, and that color is Swamp Holly Orange. Up next, from I'm going to say this is 95. Could be 96, but I don't see a year on it. Yeah, I don't see a year. 95 or 96. Jeff Green in the Busch Series, replacing Dale Earnhardt. And I like these because they have all the crew members on them. We'll go Mike Collier. He's got some cards. I believe he was a pilot. Danny Earnhardt, one of Dale's brothers. Don Hawk, of course, he's with SRX now. Tony Eury Jr., Tony Eury, Teresa Earnhardt, and of course Jeff Green. It's always like it when the hero cards, when they put the entire team on the back. 1997, Steve Grissom moved over to the 41 team, Larry Hedrick Motorsports, to drive the Kodiak car. They had a few good runs that year. I believe they had a couple top 5 finishes, handful of top 10s. But that car looked clean. Of course, Steve had a horrible wreck in the Spring Atlanta race. You have to go back and check that one out. And of course, that was the final race on the oval configuration, not the quad oval. Let's see here. What is our next one? It looks like 1996. 1996. Ernie Irvan, the most amazing comeback in racing history. So, very cool. That kind of tells you the story of Ernie's crash that he had in 94 and his comeback to racing after those injuries. My dad and I happened to be at the track that weekend at Michigan. We were actually in the campground across the road when his accident happened. We just hadn't made it to the track yet that morning. We were just kind of taking it easy. I believe that was on a Friday. May have been a Saturday. I don't recall. But we heard the helicopters come in, and you don't really think much about it when helicopters at a track when you don't see them, because there's a lot of traffic in and out. And of course, when we got to the track, people were talking about it. And then we got back to the camper that night, had the TV on, and the local news had said that he only had about a 2% or a 5% chance of making it through the night. Of course, Ernie did, and made one of the biggest sports comebacks ever. We'll go to 1995, Cale Yarborough Motorsports and driver Jeremy Mayfield, the RCA DSS digital satellite system. We had one of those when we lived a little ways out in the country and didn't have access to cable, so we got one of these little DSS dishes. They were nice. You got a lot of channels that weren't available on cable because they had a different contract. The only thing was we couldn't get the local channels because that was not a thing at the time, and so it was hard to get some of the races on CBS, ABC, etc. What year is this next one? It is a truck series. So it's 2023, Spencer Boyd. And I always like the font on those numbers on the Boyd's Motorsports trucks. I always think those are nice. This next one, 1995, Joe Nemechek brought his own team up to the Cup Series after spending a year driving for Larry Hedrick. He had the Burger King sponsorship on the car for a couple years. I thought that was a pretty sharp-looking paint job. (1994) Kenny Wallace joins Fillmore Racing, TIC Financial Systems. Not exactly sure what TIC Financial Systems is, but I'm sure if I read that, I can find out more. We have another one of these that's similar to the Randy Tolsma one. It is a Truck Series card, but it's not Randy Tolsma. It looks like 2002. Yes, it is 2002. And it's Dennis Setzer with Axiom Racing. I think that was Rob Morgan and David Dollar, I think, were the owners of this team. But there's a lot of different sponsor groups and so forth. Trying to see, yeah, Rob Morgan and David Dollar. I don't know if they're any relation to Drew Dollar or not, but another one from the Truck Series here. What year is this one? I'm not seeing a year, but again, it's early 90s. Lance Nork. There you see Team NHL. Now, I want to say Lance Nork's father, I want to say he was mayor of Oklahoma City at one time. Yep, right there. His father, Ron, was mayor of Oklahoma City, so that's pretty cool. Then we go to 2011. Ryan Newman with that Army paint job. Stuart Haas Racing had a few wins there. And our final card of the day, number 20. This would be from 1997. Another owner-driver here in the Cup Series, Brett Bodine. And in the fold-over race, Brett Bodine called a press conference, called some news people out, and he peeled the stickers off of that car because Close Call wasn't paying the bills. He ended up with Royal Purple and a couple other sponsors to finish 1997 out. But again, Brett was one of these folks that always seemed to cobble together some unique sponsors, unique paint schemes, etc., etc. So anyway, that has been Mailbag Monday once again with 20 random NASCAR hero cards. So I'm trying to get these all, and eventually, once I get these all put in my filing cabinet over here, I'll have to get them sorted and arranged and organized and etc., etc. But anyway, thanks again for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. And come back at noon for Fast Packs, where we'll be ripping another pack of 1995 Action Packed Preview. As always, thanks again for watching, and we will see you at noon.